The long-debated question of subliminal and backmasked messages in heavy metal music was finally put to the test in the American courts last year. CBS Records and the band Judas Priest were accused of causing the suicides of 2 young men through the use of subliminal messages. One of the boys lived long enough to tell others that the music of Judas Priest had made him do it. James Vance and Ray Belknap's friendship seemed based on their similar lifestyles. Both had problems with school and work, and both used drugs. 2 days before Christmas in 1985, Ray gave James an early Christmas present, the Judas Priest album Stained Class. Locked in Belknap's bedroom, the 2 teenagers played the album over and over again.
They began listening to the music repeatedly. They had some favorite songs. They began to sing along with some of the lyrics in the music, which emphasized suicide as a valid alternative to life's problems.
They knew they were going to go shoot themselves. They looked at each other and he said, let's see what's next, and let's do it.
Ray shot himself first, and James tells of hearing Ray's body thump on the ground. He had second thoughts, that he had things to live for, but he felt compelled to pull the trigger. And he began chanting, do it, do it, do it, and he did it. And he pulled the trigger.
To the best of your knowledge today, what is the cause of James shooting himself?
I would say it was him listening to the Judas Priest heavy metal music.
Now in session.
The case against Judas Priest rested on proving that the words "do it" were hidden in the track "Better by You, Better Than Me," and that they were placed there with the specific intent of suggesting suicide to the listener. Using sophisticated technology, audio experts isolated and analysed the words "do it." The result was played to the court.
I
heard absolutely nothing. I have excellent hearing.
I heard Do It after the second time it was played through.
I heard something, yet I could
You couldn't make it out.
not if I hadn't been told before what it was supposed to say.
In court. In court, lead singer Rob Halford claimed that the "do it" sound heard by the prosecution was a breathing technique he uses to personalise his songs. This involves a heavy breath at the end of each phrase. He was called upon to demonstrate this to the judge.
I think I get the right key. It goes.
Better by you, better than me. You can say what I can see.
CBS Records brought in their own experts to explain Halford's singing technique.
It's hard to describe them. I would describe them as expressive grunts which happen in between the vocal lines. It's all part of Rob's performance of the song as a lead vocalist.
Is that an unusual thing for a singer to do?
No, not at all. Elvis Presley made a career out of it.
If it had been created by somebody who had the ability to create something in order to do something to somebody or have an effect on somebody, it surely would have had an effect on many more people.
They've been dropping like flies all around
From that point to this, and as somebody said, if we're going to put subliminal content on there, even if we had the ability to do so in 1978, we would have just said, hey, buy more records or something like that.
Judas Priest were also accused of putting backward messages on the track Beyond the Realms of Death. The song was computer analysed and played backwards by the prosecution. They claimed that the message "Try Suicide" was revealed.
They could hear the words "try suicide," which sounded like that was about as close as they could get. So myself and Ken went into a studio with stained glass album, and we played side one backwards at normal speed, unedited. Within 30 seconds we found "Hey Ma, my chair's broken." We found "It's so fishy, personally I'll own it." But we found other messages, didn't we?
I asked her to get me a peppermint. I asked her to get one. There's stuff to do with love. But we didn't find anything to do with suicide or devilish things.
The final straw, the prosecution's case collapsed. The judge ruled that Judas Priest were not to blame for the suicides of James Vance and Ray Belknap. He said that he did hear the hidden messages such as "Do It" on the record, but he also ruled It was a chance combination of sounds and not an intentional subliminal command.
Did it ever cross your mind that you might be in any way, however small, responsible for their death?
Not one way whatsoever. I never spoke to their parents at all. The reason is I have no sympathy for their parents. They were responsible for the way their children have grown up. And I think that if you've got a problem and a tragedy occurs like that, you've got to look a little bit closer to home and not try and pin the problem on music. Maybe pin it on the social structure of America and the way that the kids have been brought up, but not try and pin it on music.
But the Judas Priest trial is not the end of the story. Next in the firing line is British heavy metal singer Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy says his song, Suicide Solution, is about the death of a friend through alcoholism. But American lawyers have a different interpretation.
We know of at least 15 or 16 cases where there has been suicide connected to Ozzy Osbourne's music. Most of it related to the song Suicide Solution. We're talking about situations where young men, usually boys incidentally, are listening to the tape on a Walkman type of stereo with the earphones in and shooting their brains out.
Fitzgerald, Georgia, is a small town in the southern Bible Belt. Tom Waller has lived here all his life. For the past 4 years, he has been struggling to make sense of his son's death. Michael Waller shot himself in front of 3 friends at a party 2 months before his 17th birthday. Mr. Waller blames the suicide on Ozzy Osbourne for 2 reasons. Firstly, he believes that a chance conversation with Michael following a drink driving offence provided a clue to his son's state of mind.
He said to me, "Well, Pop, I think old Oz has the solution." And I turned to him and said, "Well, son, I don't know who has the solution, but I'm sure together we'll work it out." And he turned to me a second time and plainly stated to me, he says, "Well, Pop, I think old Oz has the solution."
The second piece of evidence only came to light when Tom Waller cleared out his son's truck. He found an Ozzy Osbourne tape in the cassette player.
The song that he had played last was Ozzy Osbourne's Suicide Solution. And then, just like somebody had turned a very bright light on me, I realized what he had said to me 10 days, 2 weeks earlier actually, that old Oz has a solution. And I realized where he had gotten out here to commit suicide.
It might not seem much to go on, but Ben Mills, a local attorney, has agreed to take up the Waller case. As a result, Ozzy Osbourne and CBS Records are due to stand trial later this year. Mills thinks that the Wallers are in with a good chance of winning, despite the much publicised failure of the Judas Priest case.
We have much stronger evidence. In the Judas Priest case, the only words they had were the words, "do it." Here we have a direct exhortation of a song called Suicide Solution that says, suicide is the only way out, don't you know what it's all about? In addition, in the Blizzard of Oz version of the tape, there is an interlude